Pound for Pound Boxing Report. I'm your host, Michael. Normally, for those who are regular listeners to the show, when I do Pound for Pound Boxing Report, it's just the show. Myself and my fellow guests coming on, talking about uh, talking about boxing, recaps, previews, and whatever. Could you do me a favor, gentlemen, and mute your mic because I'm hearing some background? Talking about boxing, recaps, previews, and whatever. Could you do me a favor, gentlemen, and mute your mic because I'm hearing some background? Okay, whatever. Normally you hear me doing some talking boxing, talking all things boxing, but I'm doing something different here. Um, a boxing interview live here on the Pound for Pound Boxing Report. Exclusive interview with Isaac Dogboe, WBO Interim Junior Featherweight Champion, as he gets ready for his showdown with Jesse Magdaleno this coming Saturday, April 28th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. About going to be aired live here in the U.S. on ESPN. What's going on, champ? Saturday, April 28th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. About going to be aired live here in the U.S. on ESPN. What's going on, champ?
Hello, everything's going great. How about you guys?
I'm doing good. And also joined with Isaac is his father, trainer. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, everything is fine, man. Everything is fine.
Cool, cool. As I said, you're going to fight Jesse Magdaleno this coming Saturday in Philly. How has preparations been for the fight?
Well, as you know, the kid is ready. I mean, everything went well. Training camp has been good. The kid has responded properly to training camp. Um, as you know, Magdaleno is in real trouble. He's in real trouble. So Isaac is strong. This kid is always regimented and structured. I mean, look at him, calm. Calm. And we can't wait. Training camp went very well. Everything was on point. He made weight 2 weeks ago. So now we just taping down, relaxing, healing the body. Come 28th of April, Magdaleno is going to find himself wanting.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm sorry, I was on mute. This bout was originally scheduled for the 14th of April. Were there any adjustments due to the fact that this fight was pushed back 2 weeks?
No, there was no adjustment. The thing is, the more you wait, the more the kid gets stronger because remember, he's only 23 years old. So you better come quick. That's when maybe you get a chance. But then when you wait, the kid gets more stronger by day, by minute, by years. And, so we just had to train, add 1 month more to the training camp. I mean, so that's what makes Isaac more dangerous, for Magdaleno. So come 28th of April, Magdaleno is going down. I mean, it's written, it's written in our books ever since the kid was born, So this is the day that the Lord Himself has made, So we were calling Rigindo to come and fight. We wanted to fight Rigindo, and now Rigindo got beat by someone else, and now Magdaleno is here. So it's like people used to say I was delusional, saying that my son can beat Rigindo, but like I keep telling people, if Isaac is up against good guys, you're gonna see the good, you're gonna see the better out of him, and but if he's not up against no good guy, you're not gonna see the real. You saw it in Cesar Juarez, when Jesse Magdaleno was running away, from Juarez. We done Magdaleno's job for him, so he needs to pay back, by giving Isaac that title.
Indeed. A very impressive stoppage win over Cesar Juarez in January of earlier this year. Kind of some bad blood, if you will, in the lead up. But more importantly, I want to know is I'm hearing a lot about these sparring sessions that you had, champ, with Magdaleno. a few years ago. Do you want to give any detail into that? In short, there's some history there between the two of you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, remember, when Mayweather was fighting Pacquiao, we were invited in that fight, and then to that fight, and then we ended up in Jesse Magdaleno's gym, and then I think wait, was it wait?
Nah,
Who took us there? A guy, you know.
TJ.
Oh, TJ, yeah. Is it BJ?
BJ.
BJ took us to Magdaleno's gym to spar him because we heard he's been knocking all his sparring partners out, and we went. So they asked us DS, say we should spar him for 10 rounds, and then we went in there, and these two boxers were just right in the middle of the ring, pound for pound, pound for pound, and nobody was going back. At that time, Isaac was 4-0, and he was about 20-0. So, you know, and he couldn't shake Isaac's foundation. So, and then they stopped the sparring in round 5. And then this kid came out, Magdaleno, and said, "Oh my God, you're strong. Where you from?" He was, oh my God, hugging Isaac up and down, you know, telling Isaac to come back. He wants to be his friend. He should come, you know, he's got a fight coming up. Isaac should come back, you know. So Magdaleno knows what is coming at him, and his camp knows because they were there when we took this guy, you know, when Isaac was sparring Magdaleno, and Magdaleno could not shake Isaac's foundation. And even his punches were not even strong enough to push Isaac back. You know, so we know who Magdaleno is. You know, we know, I mean, we know who he is. And he knows who Isaac is. And I believe when they 4-0, and he couldn't shake Isaac's foundation, now Isaac is about 18-0. Can he shake Isaac's foundation? How many years ago? Almost 4 years ago now, you know, and the kid is now 23 years old. At that time, he was about, I think, 19, you know. So, I mean, this is the reason why he's going to pull anything, you know, come and then not want to fight Isaac. But, you know, he's cornered. That's what I think. He's cornered. There's nowhere to run.
And one of the things I like about you, champ, is not just the glossy record, but the history in terms of who you sparred with, not just with Magdaleno, but from also what I'm hearing the sparring sessions with Carl Frampton, which he was right in there with him. And we all know his resume.
Yeah, he remember Isaac sparred Escandon when he was in California. We sparred Leo Santa Cruz. You know Leo Santa Cruz? One of the best. Yeah, Isaac was sparring Leo Santa Cruz at the City of Industries. You know, I remember we used to travel from California to the City of Industry to spar from Woodland Hills to City of Industries to spar Leo Santa Cruz. We've done that several times, you know, and these guys, they know Isaac, you know, they know what's coming. You know, Leo Santa Cruz is a very nice guy, you know, his family is great, his father is a nice man. We love them, you know, I love the father so much, and I love the brothers, you know, the brothers are nice, you know, Leo Santa Cruz, his family, we love them, you know, and, you know, so Magdaleno should be very careful because, you see, we just want an easy way out for him. He should just come and he should just move up weight and bring the title, and then just you know, and vacate the title or something, because he knows. See, Isaac sparred Carl Frampton, you know, for almost 2-3 years, right? Yeah, and see, so we know what we're talking about. Leo Santa Cruz cannot shake Isaac's foundation. You see, he has to make boxing exciting. You know, he has to come and fight. He has to prove to the world that sorry, Jesse Magdaleno has to come and prove to the world that he's a real Mexican. You know, he has to fight like a real Mexican, like his predecessors. How do you call it?
Mano Marquez.
Marquez, you know, them guys. El Salvador Sanchez, you know, what's the name?
Chavez and the like as well.
Chavez, this is it, Chavez. You see, so you see, the world wants to see competitive fights. You know, the world wants to see fights like Isaac Dogboe and Jesse Magdaleno. These are real fights, you know. But you can't be running away from real fights like Suarez. Cesar Juarez is a very top guy too, you know. So we done his job for him. You know, Isaac done that job for him. So he owes Isaac. So all he has to do is to bring that belt, and then we leave him in peace. Otherwise, we gonna knock him out, you know, and he's gonna pay for not fighting Cesar Juarez, you know. So Isaac is ready, man. The kid is ready. I mean, you can look at him, pretty boy, you know, never gets hit, you know. So we're ready. He just have to come and fight and make the fight exciting. You know, the world.
He just has to make the weight.
This is it. Make the weight and come and
And for those who don't, know, amongst us hardcore heads, there is some controversy. There is some words that Magdaleno may be struggling to make. Wait for this fight. Um, you fought Isaac in the United States early in your career. However, for a lot of folks, this fight Saturday, particularly here in the U.S., will be the first time seeing you fight. For those who are uninformed about you, champ, give them some background into your foray in boxing. Yes, you're Ghanaian, but you have plenty of roots in the UK as well.
Yes, you know, I'm born. I was born in Ghana, but I'm, you know, a citizen of Great Britain. And you know, my foundation in boxing all started in Great Britain. And at this moment, you know, that's where everything started for me in terms of boxing. You know, I won 3 national championships in England, and then, you know, represented Ghana at the 20th Olympic Games. You know, at the age of 17, the youngest. And you know, I mean, I was in the England development squad. However, when the selection, they did their selection 4 years prior to the Olympic Games, so I couldn't get. At that time, I wasn't even in boxing. You know, I wasn't in boxing at that time. So yeah, so being able to go to Olympics at you know, at 2012, it shows that my development was really quick. You know, hence the reason why we had to, you know, branch to Ghana to try and make the team. And God being so good, we made the team, and then I was able to qualify for the Olympic Games, you know, and represent Ghana. And a few years down the line, right now, you know, if I'm fighting for a world title, it's great. You know, the journey, the story, you know, it's all worth it. Taking a long road, you know, long hard road, is all worth it. And come April 28th, the world is going to witness they're going to witness, you know, something special.
A meteoric rise indeed. You'll listen to the Pound for Pound Boxing Report. I'm your host, Michael. Exclusive interview with Isaac Dogboe. Just a few short days before his showdown with Jesse Magdaleno, April 28th in Philadelphia. Couple of notes here. First of all, I want to thank Mel NPR, who's in the background there. You don't see her. She's the person who kind of secured this interview for me, as well as both from Truth and Facts Boxing. I want to thank both of them. Also want to thank those who are listening to us live. B. Marsh, Charlie Brown Boxing, Gus from Corruption in Boxing, EJ Boxing Live. Thank everybody for listening to the show live. Want to go to Isaac Sr., you know, the trainer of your son. A long history of father-son trainer fighters, not necessarily having the greatest relationships vis-a-vis the boxing. Um, what distinguishes you as a father and a trainer of your son? How would that be different from what we've seen in the past with father trainers? And so,
Well, as you know, I mean, I come from a good home. I mean, my son comes from a good home. You know, he's blessed. Boxing didn't make him. You know, this kid was born with a silver spoon in his mouth too. You know, it's just that I had to force him into boxing. You know, because he used to do football. He was in a football school. You know, soccer, football. You know, and then I managed to convince him to box. he's so, respectful, very humble. He's, I mean, you can tell he's not, this is not a boxer. He's not a bad boy boxer. It's just, this is a sweet boy, like a homie that I turned into a beast. So it's not like, so see, sometimes I feel I've taken the childhood away from my son by putting him into these man sports. I mean, it's been a great, journey for us. He listens. Anything I say, everything he says. Oh, daddy, I have to talk to my daddy first, because I told him, listen, he should give me 4 years of his life and see where he's gonna be, and he's done it ever since. Anything I say, he listens. He's a great listener. He's very humble. I keep telling him it's not about the money, it's about what you have to do when the money comes. It's not about even training my son. It's about, also educating him, telling him what to do. What are you gonna do when you get money? Telling him how he has to use money that God has given him to do charity work, to be building boreholes in his country of birth, helping people in Lambeth too as well, in England. This is it. You teach them how to be very generous. It's not, like I said, this is a whole. You see, I would say it's not about the sports of boxing alone. You see, you have to teach them a whole. It comes. It's a whole package. How to lead your life. When you are not boxing, outside the ring, how to conduct yourself. It's like I'm nurturing him. So there was no problem with my son when it comes, even people coming into our life trying to divide me and my son. All he does is, daddy, this is what this guy said. This is what this guy said, daddy. He tells me to cut the guy out, cut them out. I don't. He doesn't want to see this guy again. Doesn't want to see that guy. But this is what they're saying. A lot of these things too has come, to pass, where my son will call me and be telling me a lot of things. And yeah, I've never had no problem with my son. Because this is my first boy. And I've got a second boy that also is in boxing. That is my 13 years old, even taller than Isaac. He's taller than Isaac. He's a southpaw, very strong. So I've never had no problem. The journey has been smooth. And I never even doubt of using my own money, to do anything for my son. It's just normal. It's just normal. It's my son. So what else can I do? So this is it. I mean, all I tell him is, son, just go and knock this guy out, and then go, drill some boreholes and get some water for, the people, the less privileged, people, and God will bless you. That's all I tell him. So this is it. This is it.
So in short, for you, it's not just about teaching him to technique and whatever to be the best boxer that he can be in the ring, but teaching him principles in life so he can be the best person outside the ring as well.
Exactly. So that's why you see, he's going to university as well in September. So it's very important. I promised my dad, that is his grandfather. When when he was going to the Olympics, my dad was crying, telling me, why would you let my grandson go to the Olympics? My daddy was so upset. He said, why would you do that? Let me take him to a private school. And my daddy was telling me all this. So I said to my dad, he's going to go to school. Don't worry, he's a good boxer. I want him to, break records and set records. And at the age of 17, he went to the Olympics. My daddy, even though he was so upset, I said to my dad, I'll let him do his schooling and finish his masters and everything. And then my daddy passed away. So my son and I, we have that plan of him being a world champion and going to university, still, you know, being in university and fighting at the same time, because I'm working my time around his school time and everything. That's what we've been doing ever since he was in college. You know, he passed through his college all, you know, he was, I think, 3 times champion of England when he was in college. That's the elite ABAs, you know, and he went to the Olympics also, you know, doing all his college works and that. So, I mean, he can be a world champion. I mean, a lot of people made it, like Nathan Cleverly. He also, you know, he was in university, he was a world champion. Sometimes you see him in a changing room reading his school books and that. So, I mean, if a man done it, another man, he can also do it. So, and he hasn't got no friends. His friends is the people he meets in the gym, and then his brothers and me and his mom. So I think he can do it, because unless you have a lot of friends, I mean, you have a lot of friends, then you cannot, because from school, you come home, you rest, you eat, you go to the gym. From gym, you come do your homework, you sort yourself out, the next day you go into school. So there's no time to socialize, you know. So after your career or after your, I mean, everything you want to achieve in life, then you can have, you know, lots of friends, and anything you want in this world you can get.
Indeed, indeed. Champ, you mentioned how you're Ghanaian, even though you grew up, even though you essentially grew up in the UK. You a proud Ghanaian. You follow a tradition of outstanding Ghanaian boxers, be it Joshua Clottey, David Cote, Ike Quartey, and of course the greatest boxer that's come from Ghana, in my opinion, arguably the greatest fighter from the continent, Azuma Nelson. Talk about that tradition, talk about that lineage, and how it's a motivating force for you, be it in this fight with Magdaleno or even ongoing in your career.
Well, when you speak about boxing in Ghana, you're talking about the legend Azuma Nelson. He paved the way for boxing in Africa, and the people, many other boxers followed in the lives of everyone they just mentioned, Joshua Clottey and Co. However, after they passed, it's like boxing hasn't been the same. And we have been able to revive boxing as I'm speaking right now in Ghana, and Africa as a whole. And this fight on April 28th is going to be, something special, because I have full confidence I'm bringing that title, and taking that title back is going to end, the long wait that Ghana hasn't had a world champion in a very long time, because right now we've done everything that we're supposed to do. All we're doing at this moment is just going on our knees and praying to the Almighty God to prevail come April 28th. And we believe that that's exactly what's going to happen. These guys have paved the way for us, and now I have to take the baton to the next level. And by doing so, we have to ensure that that title comes with us when we leave Philadelphia, after the fight.
Okay, I know you pressed for time, so I'm gonna wrap this interview up. Uh, Last word, champ. Last word, senior senior Dogboe. Um, for those in the States, for those who are listening to us live, last word on this upcoming fight with Jesse Magdaleno.
We thank everybody in America for supporting this young chap, Isaac Dogboe. It's been a long road, like he said. The fans, in the States here are great. They helped me with my son in California. We love these guys, man, and they love their boxing. Anytime they see a good kid You see, the whole community in California was supporting Isaac Dogboe, and were doing things for us here and there. People will invite Isaac to their homes, and they just, people see, anytime Isaac fights, yeah, his publicity keep growing when he fight, and that's why we are so happy to be fighting on ESPN, you know, and Box Nation. We know, you know, when Isaac says he's going to become the first pay-per-view ever to come out of Africa, you're going to see on the 28th of April, you're going to see how he's going to dissect Magdaleno, and then we're going to knock him out and then move him around the ring. And because this is Magdaleno is a very tough opponent, you know, but you're going to see how Isaac is going to make him look useless, you know. I mean, Isaac is going to make him look stupid in the ring, and we're going to take him out, because Isaac is in, look, this kid is like a rock. I mean, you can see he's a rock.
I've been watching footage of him in the gym in training. No doubt he's in shape now.
Exactly, you know, he's a rock, and I can tell you, when Magdaleno, if Magdaleno passed through this kid, then it means that he will become, you know, he will become the first pay-per-view super mega star on earth when he passes through Isaac. Because I know there is no way he can pass through this kid, because I've been with this kid and I know. See, Carl Frampton will tell you about Isaac. Leo Santa Cruz will tell you about Isaac. Escandon will tell you about Isaac. And I believe Jesse Magdaleno's handlers will also tell you about Isaac. So this is it right here. We are happy, you know, again, happy, so happy. I mean, it's been great to be on this great land. You know, in America, the people here are good to us. Anywhere we go, people are cheering Isaac up, and people are coming all the way from California, you know, Harrisburg, California, New York, and all the surrounding towns to just come and watch, you know, the Lion of Africa, you know, the first pay-per-view ever, becoming the first pay-per-view star ever to come of Africa. I know Jesse Magdaleno is going to run like a crazy Pollo Loco. You know, this is it. So he should get ready.
Last word from you, chap. And I see that Philadelphia Eagles hat you have on. Nice touch, sir.
Yes, I mean, look, they are the Super Bowl champions, so you know.
I see it, sir. I see it, Mr. Dogboe. I see the
shirt. You know, like my father said, you know, just to put everything in a nutshell, it's been great. You know, it's been awesome. Training camp has gone well. You know, I just want to thank God for, you know, for successful camp. So I want to thank God for bringing us here safe. You know, I just want to thank everyone that's supporting Team Dogboe. You know, and I want to thank all the media people, you know, for all their interviews and, you know, putting, you know, for all the hard work that they're doing promoting the show. It's been great. I can't wait for April 28th. And all I can say is that Jesse Magdaleno, just make the weight, you know, and let's get it on. Let's do it for the boxing fans. And you know, a lot of people on paper, everybody thinks that Jesse Magdaleno is going to have the better, has the upper hand. But guess what? The storm takes people by surprise.
No, just say he's
taking Jesse Magdaleno by surprise. Magdaleno has been fed, you know, with a silver spoon,
ice cream and chocolate, you know, and top rank has treated him, giving him everything.
Yeah, they molded him so nicely.
This is it.
You know,
now he's coming to meet the real man with three cojones. You know, I think he has one. You know, Jesse Magdaleno has one cojones. You know, he's going to meet the real man that has three cojones. So he should get ready.
So, you know, I can't wait. I want to see everyone at the La Cura Center, you know, on April 28th. Come this Saturday. We've got about 4 days to go. And it's just gonna be a spectacular fight. Everyone has to come there. You know, like I said, it's gonna be a wonderful night of boxing. ESPN Box Nation, Top Rank, Isaac Dogboe, Pound for Pound Boxing. We're signing out, and thank you.
Appreciate it. It is rare that I do interviews with fighters. I usually just stick to talking about boxing. As I said earlier, I want to thank LPR, who's in there in the background, both from Truth and Facts as well as Three Kings Boxing, for basically helping me set up this interview, and thank most importantly Isaac Dogboe Jr. and Senior for joining us. Thank you, champ, WBO Interim
New
Featherweight Champion
and the new
Dogboe.
and the new. There we go. All right, bro. Take care.
Indeed. Fighting Jesse Magdaleno again, April 28th, this Saturday, in Philadelphia. For those in the States, you can catch the fight on ESPN. Again, thanks again, champ. Thanks again, Mr. Dogboe. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Take care.
God bless you.
Exclusive interview, Pound for Pound Box Report with Isaac Dogboe. I'm your host, Michael. We will see you next time. Everyone have a good evening. Good night.